As I was driving in this morning, I just wanted to think about, what exactly it was that I wanted to talk about. And one of the individuals that came to my mind was my mother. And it made me think about, the fights that we have and, what we're actually up here fighting for. And I think back to my mother. I think back to the times when we grew up in the projects. She was a single mom of 5, working a minimum wage job just to try to keep a roof over our head. It was her and my abuela living in the projects in Brooklyn, just trying to figure out a way to survive. And there were days where my mom and my abuela had to figure out, are we gonna put groceries on the table or are we gonna pay for our abuela's diabetes medication? And as I'm driving in thinking about all of this, it's just percolated in my head because I realized on that drive that there's so many Peggy Toledos and Angelica Garcias in Reading, Pennsylvania, and in Scranton, and in Erie, and in Philadelphia, and in Allentown. So many single mothers, women who are leaders of households, who are the pillars of our communities, who are sometimes doing things by themselves, and yet I'm a fruit of that. I'm a fruit of a single parent household. And mommy, who would have thought, right, all those years ago when we was in the projects, that one of your sons would be a state representative? But mommy, I did it all for you. And I do it all for the other millions of Latina women across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania who deserve their own superhero as well. And my mother, of course, she's still with us, and she moved out of Pennsylvania. She's down in sunny Florida now. But I think back to all those struggles, and I'm just so thankful for all those times where we had to figure out how the lights were going to get kept on. Or in the winter times, how we were going to keep the heat on, or during Christmas, how we were going to get Christmas presents. Mommy and abuela, I don't know how you made it happen, but you made it happen. And for millions of other Latina women across the Commonwealth, they make it happen for their families. So when we're up here and we're talking about the fights, when we're talking about raising the minimum wage, when we're talking about protecting our most vulnerable, when we're talking about making sure that people who go to school in Reading, who look like me, who talk like me, have the opportunity to become state representatives. It's to help the Peggy Toledos and the Angelica Garcias of the world who live in Reading, PA, who live in Allentown, who live in Hazleton, who live in Erie, who live in Pittsburgh. Mi gente, I want to close out with saying this. We currently account for 1.1 million Latinos across the Commonwealth, equals about 7% of the voting population. To put that into perspective, in the last presidential election, that candidate won with less than 1% of the election, of the turnout. So if you put that into perspective, our political power is not only growing here in these halls, but we're growing economically. We just generated over $50 billion worth of economic opportunity Latinos did here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania last year. Over $50 billion of economic output. So we're growing economically, we're growing politically, we're growing socially, and mi gente, we're not done yet until these halls of this house is filled with more Latino representations from Reading, from Lancaster, from Allentown, from Erie, from Pittsburgh, from Westmoreland to Philadelphia.